Hi there. So in this tutorial, we are going to explore the model context protocol in depth. And in first tutorial, I just covered the web scraping functionality using MCP. You will find the link of that first video in description. So in this second part of MCP, we are going to explore this in further detail, where we are also connecting our vector database and the Gmail functionality with web scraping functionality. Okay. So if I start from here we have this minimal simple AI agent which is connected with this MCP client, and then further this will communicate with this MCP server. So first let me give you a demo, and then I will explain everything in depth, and will create these all three workflows or two workflows from scratch for you, and will also give you these as a template so that you can utilize. So if I start from here, so here we have this chat functionality, and make sure that your workflows are active. Okay, because these will be communicating with our MCP server, okay, which is this. So it should also be active, and this should also be active. So I guess you might be a bit confused right now, but after this tutorial you will be able to understand everything. So if in this first video, let's suppose I'm going to say it hi, okay, in first input. So for this it will just trigger the model and memory, and it will says it will says hi there, welcome to guruservices.com, I am here to help you and everything. Why this is now mentioning this? Because I have given it a system message which will at this, so therefore this AI agent will act accordingly. Okay, I'm going to explain you this further in detail. For now you just focus on its responses. So for this it just used Anthropic AI model based on the prompt. So let's give it further more prompts. Let's suppose we are going to give it hey, give me summary of 150 local citations, Canada up to 100 words. I need summary. But before this, what is this information? Where from this information it will get? So for this, I am going to load some information in our Pinecone Vector Database. For now, just focus on this. I am going to explain you how you can create Pinecone Vector Database. So I am just going to select in this Google Drive my file, and I have selected a file, this one. Let me show you, because I have connected my drive. I'm going to explain you Guru SEO web design service. I'm going to index this file into our Pinecone vector database. I am going to just run it, and now this switch will decide which type of file is this. Now it is going to index this data into our Pinecone vector database. Okay, I'm going for now just focus on this, leave the things how it is working. I will explain you. So data is indexed. So this file contains 150 local citations Canada. Okay, so now means our vector database has this information, and our agent should retrieve this information based on our input. So I am going to tell it, hey, give me summary of 150 local citations Canada up to 100 words. I need summary up to 100 words. Okay, and I am going to give it this. Now this will run, and it will first see memory, then it will and model will run, it will see the prompt. Now it is going to trigger this MCP client, and this MCP client will communicate with this MCP server. How I have connected this, I am going to explain. So this MCP client communicated with MCP server, and it retrieved this information. Okay, it given it an input 150 citations, and then it retrieved this information. How it retrieved this information, let me show you here. Let me show you the executions, recent executions. So this is the recent execution. Let me open this. So here we have editor, and here we can see executions, because this sent a command to this MCP trigger. It communicated with it, and then it retrieved the information from Pinecone vector database. You are able to see. Okay, here we have got this information based on the prompt. And how it got prompt? It got prompt from here through this MCP client. Okay, and it retrieved this information, and then it sent back to our AI model. We are using Claude Anthropic 4. I will explain you further in detail. We will create it from scratch. Okay, so it retrieved the information, it given to our AI model, and our AI model then formatted this information and given us the response. Hi, welcome to guruservices.com. I am here to help you. Questions. Okay, yeah. So when we given it a input based on the data retrieved, here are 100-word summary of 150 local citations, Canada packages, premium macros, and blah 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 blah. This all information is now coming from this our Pinecone Vector Database, which is connected with our MCP server. Now we have also another node which is connected with our MCP server is Gmail. So means we can also now send this data as an email to someone else. So let me give it another prompt. Hey, now email this summary to Ahmed at this email. Okay, and let's run it and let's see. Now this will trigger this MCP client, and then MCP client will communicate with MCP server. You see, so here we can see in executions, recent execution, that which node was called based on the input. So Gmail node was called. Okay, and now we can also confirm that either I have got the email or not on my Gmail that I given here. Okay, so we can also check Great successfully sent an email to emma@safebuy.com. So let's confirm now this. So you can see I have got the email now. This is the benefit of MCP server and the model context protocol, how it is going to work. You can connect a lot of tools with it here, and you can get a lot of benefit from it. So now I can also show you the web scraping functionality. Can you tell me about, let's suppose, can you tell me about datalink.com? Let's ask it. I guess this information it has in memory. Okay, it is calling MCP client now. It called MCP client, and in our MCP server we can see the latest execution, and we can confirm that where from this information it is checking. So it might be scraping the information. Okay, let's see. So okay, it has the retrieve. Yeah, let's see this one. Not the recent execution should be seen. I was seeing the old one. Let me just, yeah. So for this call, it used this web scraper using Firecrawl scraping, and it got this information. Data link automation, intelligence, and simplicity. What is data link? It is my agency, and I can show you that what is data link. So that, yeah. So this is automation, intelligence, and simplicity. So we are offering automations. So this, when we given this prompt, can you tell me about datalink.com? It called MCP server, and MCP server then used this scraper node, and then it scraped the information because GPT has no this information. It is latest information. Oh, sorry, Cloud has not this information. So it used scraper. It scraped the information from this website datalink.com, and it shown a data link here. It showed here. So based on the informed data links automation AI consultancy that has evolved being consultant, okay, specialized in building AI powered workflows, business enterprise and everything, n8n and meg.com, everything. Sorry. So this is what it has. It has retrieved all the information there. So this is how this MCP server and whole system is working. Now I am going to create this whole from scratch so that I can guide you and you can also make. Hi there. So now we are going to create this whole workflow of MCP model context protocol from scratch, and but the last one, which is this, I will explain you. I will not create this from scratch, but I will explain one node by node so that you can also, and I will give you this template. You will be able to use this. I will explain this whole data indexing, but model context protocol, the workflow of this MCP client and MCP server, I am going to create from scratch for you. So what I am going to do, I am navigating to personal, and I am going to click on folder. There is now an option to create folders. So I am going to create a folder. Inside folder, I will go there and I will create two workflows now. Okay, One workflow will be like MCP server, okay, and the second workflow, let me open this in next another node. So our second workflow will be the MCP client. So now what is MCP server and what is MCP client? MCP client is used to communicate our input with MCP server, and MCP server then will trigger the functionality based on that input. Okay, if it is saying for email, if it is saying for scraping, if it is saying for any other functionality, it will use that. Okay, so now we have one workflow. We are going to activate this MCP server. Okay, it has nothing, so it is not going to be activated. Okay, I will activate it later. So we have this one workflow, and we are going to create another workflow with name MCP client. Okay, uh, so first of all, we are going to create MCP client. Okay, in MCP client, I will no, not this one, but I will add chat on chat trigger. Okay, and I am going to create this one, and with this I am going to connect this AI agent. Okay, and in this AI agent I am going to give this a prompt that I have created. I will also give you, no, you can create your own prompt as well. You can even try it for simple lines of prompts, but this is the complex one for SEO document retrieval. I am going to give this, and I will give you this prompt so that you can take idea of how you can format the prompt based on your requirements. Okay, and I am going to give it this prompt and nothing else. I am not going to do anything else with this. Okay, further, I am going to use Anthropic chat model because MCP model context protocol is based on cloud models of Anthropic, so you cannot use GPT or OpenAI models for this. Okay, so I am going to use I have already connected my credentials. How you can connect your credentials? You can get your API key from Anthropic API key, like you will need to search Anthropic API key, and then you will come over here, API keys, and here you will click on console, and you will be here in API keys. First you will need to log in, and you will be able to get your API key. You will need to load some credits, means you will need to pay some amount. It's not free, but I guess they give some free credits. So I am going to close it because I have already connected my credentials. I am going to use Cloud Sonnet 4 model this time. It is the latest model. Okay, and then I am just connecting simple memory with 5 means how many past interactions it should remember. So I am going to just give 5 values. It should remember 5 interactions. It should remember, not much. Okay, and then in tool I am going to connect MCP client as a tool so that we can communicate with our MCP trigger. So for now, just leave this. We will need to give here a link. I am going to leave it here for now, and I am going to save it and come over here. And second workflow in MCP, I guess I have done a mistake. Okay, let's name it MCP client. Okay, and yeah, and let's name it MCP. Sorry, I have just interchanged the things. Server. Okay, now this we have MCP server. So here we are going to search MCP server trigger. Okay, so this is the MCP server. This link now you will need to copy this production link because if you want to deploy it, you can change this path. Let's suppose I am going to give a path Ahmad or Ahmad Ali. Okay, and then I am going to come over here in production. I am going to copy this. Okay, and let's save it for now and come over here in MCP client. Just paste this link. Okay, you will need to paste this link as an SSE endpoint. Now it will be able to communicate with our MCP server. Okay, this one. So once this done, now the next part is to connect our tools. So in tools, first of all, I am going to connect HTTP request tool for web scraping. Now how I am going to define all of these things. We will use Firecrawl for web scraping, so I will come over here. So how you can basically get your Firecrawl, I am going to keep this link in description. You will need to sign up here, and on dashboard you will be able to see your API key. Okay, I am going to keep the link of this, add the link of this Firecrawl in description. So you just will need to sign up and get your API key. You will be getting 500 free credits. So copy this link. Okay, but before copying, copy this link and open your notepad and write bearer space, okay, space and your API key, and then you will need to copy this. Okay, but for now leave this. I am going to show you something else. Come over here in docs. Okay, in documentation we have now here scraper. Okay, and where it is, yeah, open this scraper, click on it. Now here we have usage Python, Node.js, Go, Rust and curl. We are going to use this curl. Copy this, okay, and come over here, open this node and click on import curl, paste your curl here and click on import. Yeah, done. And second thing, just off this thing, okay, and in none click on generic credential type and click on header auth. Okay, and you are seeing that I have already connected my credentials, but what you will need to do, you will need to then click on create credentials, and here you will name authorization. Okay, authorization, and then come back here, copy your link, copy your API key, and copy your API key, and okay, let me just show you mine. Okay, copy your API key. You will need to give name as an authorization, and here just paste your this API key. Okay, you will need to paste here and click on save, and your authentications will be done, and you don't need to do anything else with this. Now this will be able to do the scraping. Okay, once this done now you can connect further more tools. I am going to connect Pinecone Vector Store to retrieve the information. I am going to give it a name Ahmed DB with no space, and in description I am also going to give this same description for now. And now from list I am going to select this ClubJet database. Now how you will do this, you will come over here and search Pinecone. Okay, open this, you will search here Pinecone and sign up here. So I will guide you how you can create your database. Let's sign up here, and you can go with Google, continue with Google. Yeah, and they are also providing free tier, so you can also create free vector database, but there will be some limitations like slow retrieval or something. Yeah, it will take few seconds. So I'm going to name just leave Ahmed and company, sure, and I'm going to use Python, continue, text semantic less than 100. You can just select three random values. So now this is my API key. Copy this and paste it over here, and then there is no any database right now. Okay, so we are going to create index. Click on create index and name it Ahmed DB. Okay, and I am going to use text embedding model 3 small, and I'm just going to create. Now my vector database is being created. Now let's come back over here. So here let's create new credentials with this fresh vector database. So here I am going to copy this link, again copy this API key of Pinecone, paste it over here, save. So it is connection successful. now I will be able to see my vector database here, AhmadDB. Okay, this one that we have recently created. So there are now 0 vectors, there is no any information right now. We are going to load information. Okay, so AhmadDB, and we are not going to do anything else. We are done with our database, and we will need to create embedding model, and we'll need to connect embedding model to do to basically do similarity search. We are going to select embedding 3 small, because in our vector database when we are creating it we use the same model, so you will need to use the same model of embedding 3 small so that it can match the dimensions. And for this, how you will get your OpenAI API key? Same thing, you will need to search here OpenAI API key, and you will need to get your OpenAI API key from here. Okay, so I will keep this link in description. Okay, and yeah, this is done. We have selected our embedding model as well, and now lastly we are going to use Gmail. Okay, so in Gmail we are going to use our account. My account is already connected with it, but I am going to delete this and going to connect it again. That how you will need to create, and I am going to connect with Google, and yeah, connected, allow, yes. Okay, my Gmail is also connected. Okay, in Gmail I'm going to do the email should be defined by model, because in chat I will give it an email, so it will define, subject will be defined by model itself, and message will be defined by model itself. There are no any fixed emails and the subject lines. This should be defined by models dynamically based on our input. Okay, send, I am going to select text, and no other options for this at this time now. Okay, so we have now our MCP trigger is ready, and now I am going to activate this. Okay, and here I am also going to activate this. Okay, and now our MCP model context protocol with these tools is ready. Let's index some data in our Pinecone vector database to test the model. So in Pinecone vector database, so let's connect my model again here, my database, sorry. So I'm going to keep editing, paste my API key, and yeah, save it, and I'm going to name it AhmadDB. Okay, save it, and yeah, connection is successful. And from list of databases I'm going to use AhmadDB, and embedding batch size is 200. Okay, so save it, and now in Google Drive I am going to select this same document, Guru as CEO. Okay, so now I am going to index this file into my Pinecone vector database. I will just need to click on test execute workflow. Now it is executing, and it has successfully indexed the data into my Pinecone database. Let's confirm. Okay, you are now able to see there are 50 records and the chunks. Now there is data, you are able to see data is successfully indexed in our Pinecone database. So let me just give you some overview how I have just connected this manual execution node. Then I have connected my drive. You can easily connect your drive using Google Connect, or you will need to provide these client secret and client ID. For this you can follow these documents, open docs. Okay, and close, and then there is switch. It will identify the types of document. Okay, like if it is PDF, if it is Excel sheet, if it is CSV, if it is any Word document, and then it will use respective extraction node. This is PDF, and this is for Excel, and this is for extract CSV. Then it will aggregate, it will combine the information, it will summarize, and it will finally chunk the data into, insert the data into Pinecone. So yeah, the demo, this is the basically intro of this reg pipeline, which is connected with our Google Drive, and it is indexing the data into our Pinecone. So now let's have a demo of our model context protocol. that is connected with these tools, like the functionality of web scraping and retrieving information from our Pinecone Vector Database, and then Gmail to send emails. So here we have MCP client, which is connected with MCP server via this client, MCP client as a tool. And this is our AI agent, and we are going to just open this chat trigger, and first let's test it with our uh, MCP database. Okay, like this Pinecone database, which has information about the document that we have indexed. So for this document, I am going to give it a prompt like this one. Okay, because the database has information about these 150 local uh, services of Canada. So let's test it, and I'm going to give it hey, give me summary of 150 local citations Canada up to 100 words. Just for this, it will call MCP trigger through this MCP client, and then this MCP server will basically use this MCP this will use Pinecone database to retrieve the information. I can also show you. Let me show you here. So yeah, let me show you this one. We have here response based on the information I have here, summary of 150 local citations Canada summary and everything. It has retrieved from our vector database. Yeah, it given this query like, and then it retrieved this information, and then based on the prompt it again went there, and finally it then formatted the information and showed it us. Okay, and let me show you. It called this Pinecone vector database. You can see in execution, and it grabbed this it got this information, retrieved this information based on the similarity search. So now let's test the email node, and let's give it another query. This one, copy this and come over here. Hey, now email this summary to Ahmed at this email. Okay, and before this, let me delete previous email so that we can test it and we can confirm it is working or not. So for this, MCP client will call MCP. I will help you to email it. Do this properly. I will need you to know what summary. Okay, so I have basically deactivated the memory, therefore it is unable to call the it is unable to call the information. So for let's test, let's give it information like please now email this summary. So here I am going to give this, copying this summary, and just copy this and paste it over here and send it. Okay, so now it will use our MCP client. It used MCP client, and MCP client should use Gmail node. Let's see, and I have successfully got the email. Just share the sound, but let's see here. So you are able to see green tick, it has worked successfully, and if you will open this, you will be able to see the information has been sent, and let's confirm. So here I have just got the information. So it has wrote the subject itself, and this is the email. And why initially it like said, so cause I basically deactivated this memory, so you can activate it. Okay, and yeah, okay, now let's test its functionality of web scraping. So for web scraping, let's give it a prompt. Hey, can you please tell me about datalink.com? So for datalink.com, MCP client should use MCP web scraper. So first let's see the logs here. So it said apologize, limited information, but let's test it again. And sometimes it behave like, I don't know why behave like this, but let's test it again. It's calling MCP, Let's see the executions, the recent execution. Okay, it has scraped the information. Great, now it is working, and you can see that there is green tick and it scraped the information from here, from datalink.com. And this is why, that's why I deactivated the memory, so that it should not call the pass instruction. Instead it should do the fresh web scraping. Okay, and it scraped the information, so the core services and everything, even everything. Okay, this is about data link, it is scraped. So this is working fine. I am going to give you these templates, and you will be able to find these templates in my GitHub repo. I will attach or link that repo in my description, and if you have any question you may ask. And I hope that now you will be able to make an amazing MCP server with not just these tools, but a lot of tools like Google Calendar and everything. In next tutorial we will create an amazing MCP model which will be able to create meetings, retrieve meetings, and which will be connected with our Telegram. So rather than chatting over here, we can connect Telegram or WhatsApp here to direct interact with it from our phone. So for now, thank you. Please subscribe my channel and click on bell icon for latest updates. I will be updating you about the latest information in the AI technology. Thank you.